Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Adriana Lee and I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm going to be talking today in this video about morning routines. I'll tell you my exact morning routine, what I do every day, the importance of morning routine, and what it changed for me and my life. So I will tell you that I used to be one of those people that would set like 25 alarms at 5-minute intervals. My fiance hates that. But it was really hard for me to get out of bed, and even once I was awake I would still keep hitting that snooze button just because I don't know, I just was not motivated to get out of bed. And I've also been the kind of person that gets stressed out about how much stuff I have to do and then doesn't do anything instead. So, have this giant to-do list and I just end up not doing anything on it because I'm stressed. So my morning routine has honestly changed all of that for me, which is insane. I did this exact routine for about 3 months, and then my fiance was living across the country. He moved back here, and I don't know, I just lost it. I lost my routine, which no big deal, except that it made me totally unproductive to not have that routine. So I've just recently added it back in, and it just made this giant shift in my day and in the way that I work. And I think that the reason having a morning routine is so important is because honestly the way you do anything is the way you do everything. One of my teachers used to tell me that, and I totally understand. The way that you wake up and the way that you start your day is the way that you will carry on your whole day. So if you start your day with 15 alarms set and you're snoozing until the very last one and then finally rolling out of bed last minute, everything else in your day is going to be just barely rolling out last minute, So I like to start my day with a strong purpose and with really clear goals and intentions in mind. So my routine basically goes like this. I still set those 15 alarms, just in case. But on that first alarm, or usually the first alarm, sometimes second or third, I get right out of bed. I don't give myself a time to argue or think about it or negotiate more time. I just get right out of bed. And if my fiance's in bed, I make my side of the bed. I just put my pillows back nicely and, throw the blanket over. If he's not in bed, I make the bed completely. And that just kind of gives me a little sign that I'm no longer welcome there until nap time or bedtime. So after I do all my things, I don't just go back to bed. And then right after I get out of bed, I go straight to meditate. And for me, I pretty much always do a mantra practice in the morning. I just repeat mantra in my head. I use my mala beads, and if I have time, I'll do 2 or 3 rotations of the full mala. So 216 for 2, 108 if I only have time for 1 rotation of my mala, or if I have a lot of time, I'll do 3 rotations. And I usually keep the same mantra for 30 or more days at a time. Now, if mantra isn't comfortable for you, all you have to do is sit and meditate. Just sit and breathe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you have time for, or whatever you can make time for. I would recommend a minimum of 5 minutes, for sure. But if you can do 20, do 20. Yeah, and then so after my meditation, I go straight into a cold shower. That's gonna sound awful, because it is awful. But it wakes you up so well, better than a shot of espresso, no joke. I get in and out really quick, and I live in the desert, so it's probably best that I'm taking those cold showers because I'm saving water. But it wakes you up, seriously. And as awful as it sounds, in winter, which is when I started doing this, in winter it makes you kind of more, you bear the cold better. I don't know. It's freezing, but then as soon as you get out of the shower, you feel warm right away. So usually because your air hopefully is warmer than your 20 degree or whatever shower. So yeah, I do that really quick. I do my face, my skincare routine, and then I go either make myself tea or a juice, and I journal. Hot tea is a really nice reward for after a cold shower. So But the journaling part is really important. You could journal anything you want, but what I specifically do is taken from Tim Ferris, his like morning routine. The cold shower comes from Tim Ferris too. Believe me, I did not make that up on my own. But I journal 3 things. I do the 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I try to be really specific, not so generic on this. So not like, I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my sister. No, like, if I am saying I'm grateful for my mom, like, I'm grateful for my mom for always providing me with support and believing in me, you know what I mean? Something more specific to you that exact morning. And then I journal 3 affirmations. And the affirmations can get kind of hard because you're going to repeat the same one sometimes, and that's totally okay. Same with the gratitude thing. But I try to get really specific with my affirmations. I write them in the positive. So it's not like, I'm not broke. Like, I'm not broke is a bad affirmation because it's in the negative. You use the word broke, which means you're inviting that energy of being broke back towards you. So you would say, if you don't want to be broke, like, I am joyfully attracting money and opportunities like a magnet, or something like that. So when I do an affirmation, it's in the positive. It has some emotion to it, so joyfully or gratefully or happily or whatever, easily, you know. And then I like to add some form of imagery to it, so like a magnet, so I can envision myself like all of these things coming to me like I'm a magnet, you know. Or like bees to a hive, and you imagine like this beautiful little beehive in the forest with a bunch of bees coming to it. And if that's a negative image for you, definitely don't do that one, right? But yeah, so, and that can make it a little bit more challenging. So if adding in the imagery is too hard for first thing in the morning, just do something in the positive, and preferably something with an emotion. But so yeah, so that's one example of an affirmation, but you could do anything that works for you. And then the 3rd thing that I journal are the top 3 things on my to-do list that day. Even if your to-do list is like 25 things long, don't write it all down. Just write down your 3 goals for the day, because it feels really satisfying to be able to get those 3 things done, and make it realistic things. If you know that you're waiting on an email from somebody and, you know, maybe approval from somebody else or whatever, something is really complicated, don't put that in your 3 things. You know that you have to get it done, but if you're waiting on other people, it'll feel a little bit like a failure if you didn't get it done by the end of the day, even if it's not your fault. So write down things that you can realistically accomplish so that you finish your day feeling accomplished. So yeah, that is my morning routine. Oh, and then I do my neti pot after that. And neti pot, if you haven't done it before, basically you take distilled water, you heat up some, you add a little saline solution to it, or a saline packet. You can't just use regular table salt, and I wouldn't use just regular water, I would only use distilled. And then I pour some just room temperature distilled water and basically let that dissolve, let it sit for a second while I journal, and then I do my neti pot. And you can look up videos on how exactly to do that too. So that is how I start my morning every morning, and it has honestly changed my life. It's changed my energy levels, the way that I start my day, my productivity, and honestly it's made a huge difference in my life, and I really hope that it'll make a difference in yours too. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also, if you end up trying out this routine, leave me a comment below and let me know what worked, what didn't work, and how you felt about that cold shower. Thank you guys. Namaste.